Alright. Hello, guys. Hi. Hello. Yeah, you can see my Xbox controller is ready to play some Genshin Impact today. But hi. Hello, guys. It's been pretty late. I was going to stream earlier today. Hello. I was going to stream earlier today. But I decided not to. I don't know. I had severe burnout today. Like, I was not expecting it. Some good things came out today. So, in one of my streams I made earlier this week, I made a comment, or last week, I don't remember. I made a comment how one of the companies I worked for shortchanged me. I want to put it on record that they did their due diligence finally and paid me the rest of the money that was owed to me while I was still at this company. So, to give more context to it, hold on. Something's weird. Oh, that's why. Okay. Alright, yeah, there we go. So, I was just adjusting Streamlabs OBS, but, yeah, so what happened was I worked for a company recently, and I only stayed there for a little while, and then they laid me off. And I'm like, okay, pretty dumb if you ask me. They hired me on with expectations, and then they laid me off about 2 weeks later. And in my eyes, I'm just like, what the heck? So, while I was at this company, I wasn't trained properly. Like, the first 2 days there, I barely received training. And then I was just left to my devices. And because of that, I ended up having to be retrained again. So, that's what happened there. And then, last week when I got laid off, they said, like, oh, you're not learning as quickly as we thought you would when we hired you on. We have expectations. Also, we're like just running out of work for people to do, so we might as well just cut you off now. And I'm like, oh, okay. Personally, I think it's pretty scummy. Like, it's pretty disgustingly scummy to hire me on. And here's the messed up thing, right? I finished all of my onboarding the day I got laid off at this previous company, and I'm like, the heck? This is actually really dumb. Why would you do this to me? So, yeah, I just thought I'd share a little bit of personal stuff. I won't go into detail. Just in general, that happened, and then okay. So after I got laid off, I awaited my one and only check from that company, because when I got laid off, my ex-boss said that they would give me just all of the money I worked for in my final check, which is not the case. In fact, I had to call the company, I think, like 3 times according to my phone's call logs, to even get the money. It got to the point where they finally called me back, and that day, and was like, alright, here's what we can do. We don't have paper checks until after 3 p.m., which doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why they tell me that. And then they said, alright, we're going to write the check. That'll have the money for you. We will call you so you can come and pick it up. And I'm like, I mean, I don't know why. I guess it just needs some more time, but I just found it ridiculous considering that I had submitted my direct deposit information in writing, like, in day 1 I was hired there. And then, like, earlier that week, the day I got laid off, I finished my onboarding paperwork, which included my direct deposit. So I filled out my direct deposit, not only physically, but electronically as well. So I'm just thinking, like, there is literally no excuse to do this. Like, the fudge. But I don't know, there's probably things I don't know. Like how some people at the company are just pretty bad at their job. I'm just gonna say it, and that's the nicest way I'm gonna put it there. So yeah, so I got that check, mind you, and before I went to my car, at this point, I do not trust the way people are doing things at this location of the company. And so I open the check before I drive home, and I see the check is paying me half of what I had worked for. So they paid me basically half of the hours I worked at this company, and I was like, that is so stupid. So I marched back up to the company doors, and I talked to the receptionist. Now, granted, the receptionist is not the payroll person. That was my ex-boss. So essentially the receptionist worked with me and said, okay, so we owe you this much money. Cool, I'm gonna leave it with your ex-boss. I'm like, okay, thank you. It was pretty scummy, honestly. It was really scummy the way they did me like that. They only hired me on for like 2 weeks and then they laid me off, and I'm like, oh, what the fudge? So, yeah, that's what happened recently. So finally, some good news. The company that I did work for, they finally did their due diligence, like I said earlier, and they paid me the rest of the money that was owed to me, which leads back to my previous stream where I was like ranting about it with vague connotations. Like, I'm not name dropping the company or the people involved. I'm just gonna say that some of the people at that location, that is one of the locations for that company, are scumbags. I'm just gonna throw them out there. Gonna just throw it out there and just leave my disdain for those individuals just as is. Let's not turn it into a freaking inferno, just a cozy campfire. Just know that no matter how big a corporate company, no matter how big the company is, there are people just that are just scumbags. That's just saying. So they did their due diligence. They paid me the money. I'm happy. I'm just really upset with the people that I worked with while I was employed there. And it's just like, you didn't train me properly, you're giving me attitude, you're making me feel like I'm dumb because I am dumb and I don't know how to do things because you don't know how to teach me. So, overall, that my employment at the company that I'm referring to was okay. Towards the end, it was just not good. It really wasn't good. Like, here's how like scummy it was, right? So when earlier I mentioned retraining, so I was being retrained, and it was because I wasn't trained properly. The person that was supposed to train me barely trained me, and then was basically giving me attitude and saying very rude comments to me while retraining me, as if I'm supposed to pick it up when I was only employed there for like a week and a half. And I was like, I don't know what that person's expectation was, but I just want to say that they are really dumb in thinking that I can pick up a system within a week and then just roll with the punches. And they even justified it saying like, oh, you were picking it up. And I'm like, I had to figure stuff out on my own. And not only that, they even brought up the fact during this, like, man, there's so much to talk about on this, which I can say without doxing people, thankfully, because I don't think they deserve to be doxed. They haven't done anything too bad to me that deserves to be doxed, in my opinion, but that's a whole other conversation. But either way, I was being retrained, right? Like I was saying, I was being retrained. That person treated me very badly. They did a complete 180 when I first met them. Because when I first met them, they trained me, and they just barely trained me. And then during the retraining, they were giving me attitude. They were saying rude comments. They genuinely, they didn't retrain me. That retraining was not retraining. It was aid. So I would sit there and do my job, and the person wasn't keeping tabs on what I was doing. That person was just like talking to other people on their phone, doing all that sorts of stuff. Barely paying attention to what I'm doing to make sure I'm doing my job right. Now, right there, that's a big red flag. It's like, that is horrible. You just don't know how to teach. What it comes down to is that person just doesn't know how to teach. It just doesn't. With my personal experience with that person just does not know how to teach. If that person is just going to be rude, expect things that are unexpected, just not paying attention, not making sure you're getting it right. Like, they made super rude comments to me. And the only reason why I learned anything from that retraining was because I kept asking the same question until they gave me enough information for me to go off of to continue doing my job. Now, this became an issue, right? So after talking with friends and family, I decided to bring it up to my ex-boss's attention. So the following week, at the end of a workday, I send an email to my ex-boss stating that I have concerns about being trained properly and proceed to point out the person that was training me and their attitude and how they are training me. So the next day, I've been summoned to the conference room. So I sit down. My ex-boss was there with someone else in the room. So there was just 2 people and myself in the conference room. Door was closed. And they wanted me to elaborate on the email that I had sent to my ex-boss. And say, like, what's going on there? So I proceed to tell them, the person that's retraining me is very rude. I don't know why they're giving me attitude. They said these rude comments to me. They're barely retraining me. They're not paying attention to me. And yeah. Okay, so here's how my ex-boss handled that. Alright, so how are you doing at our company? Like, doesn't even address it. Like, this person, my ex-boss, just wanted me to elaborate. And then just went to the next thing, didn't say how we would address it. And I was like, okay, and which led to this conversation of how I'm doing at the company. What is my skill level? And then I proceeded to say, because I'm not being trained properly, I said this more eloquently, but essentially what I said was, because I'm not trained properly, I just don't feel confident in doing my job well. I can do basic tasks. Then, my ex-boss went on to say, oh, okay, when we hired you on, we had certain expectations. You're not learning as quickly as we thought you would be learning. Apparently, you're having issues with certain tasks. And I'm like, I didn't even have a chance to defend myself. And it's like, what? And so this person was like, yeah, we're running out of work for people to do, so there's going to be some layoffs, so we might as well just cut you off now. And in my head, I'm like, this is the scummiest thing I have ever received from a company. No company, no matter how scummy I thought it was, that I've been employed at, has ever done this to me. It is like the stupidest thing ever. I was like, okay, I guess. And so I walk out, like, I turn in my badge and I walk out. And yeah, I think that the company is great. However, there are people at the place I worked at. So one of the locations for this company, there are people in that location that are just scumbags. They are. People like, the person that was training me, man, just they aren't that great. They aren't great. If that person knew how to even remotely be human and train people, then I wouldn't be struggling to do my job correctly at that company. And then if my ex-boss had my back, then my ex-boss would have addressed the problem. But clearly, there are some favoritisms going around, at least in my personal biased opinion, at the previous company I was employed at. And it's just like, alright, well, yeah, so moving forward after that, I was going to get my final check. Of course, like I said earlier, they didn't pay me half. So what I did is that I continuously called the company, the location I worked at, the company's location that I worked at. I continuously called and left messages until recently, because they finally paid me the amount that they owed me. Instead of paying me, they gave me the other half later on. And I'm like, about freaking time. So I haven't called them since. And I just think that there are people at that location that are scumbags. There are just people there that are scumbags. And at first I liked them, but now I don't, because they did me dirty. They did me dirty. Like, I can honestly say that if they had continued not to pay me the money they owed me, up to a certain point, then I would have had every right to file a wage claim with the state labor department, because they essentially violated the law by not paying me the money that is due to me. So that goes back to what I was saying, that if a company refuses to give you your money, or they shortchange you, you have every right to fight for it, because it is the money that you worked for, that you earned. The company does not have any right to withhold it from you unless you say otherwise. But you have every right, you are entitled to fight for your money. Just know that. And that there are resources to help you fight for your money if a company decides to refuse to give you money, or decides to shortchange you, or decides to just take advantage of you financial wise. So just know that first you need to talk with the employer to work something out, and then that's when you take action and file wage claims and just let the IRS handle it, because anything with money that deals with the IRS. So yeah, it's a fun thing. So good thing out of that entire story is I got the money, the rest of the money that was due to me, and I don't have to ever look back at that company ever again unless I have to. And at that point, I hope it's at a location with people that know how to do their job and are actually, like, humane in my eyes. Just thinking about how they laid me off and how they ended things with me is just, it was super scummy. It is a scummy thing. It is a horrible thing to happen to anyone. And I don't wish it to anyone unless they freaking deserve it. But yeah, the people that did me wrong at that company's location, yeah, they're scumbags. They are. Just, if they ever see this, I'm just gonna say, you guys deserve that. Just be glad I'm not doxing you. So that's just something to know. There was a hardship, and then there was a good ending. Better than the bad ending, okay? There was no bad ending, just my fight for my money arc concluded on a good note. So there's that. And then, tomorrow I have a wedding to attend to. And it's really funny, because last night I was hanging out with my buddies at Ninja Ramen, and we were just talking about how things are going with our lives and stuff like that. Because right now, as of this stream, Bushiroad Championship Series Houston is being held. Excuse me. So yeah, the Bushiroad Championship Series is happening all over the nation in the United States right now, and this weekend it's in Houston, Texas, and a lot of my buddies are heading off. Well, today. Yeah, no, freak, I said that wrong. A lot of my buddies today have left this town to head to Houston, Texas for the Bushiroad Championship Series. It starts tomorrow and goes through Sunday. I believe there's going to be... So it's all three formats of Card Fight Vanguard. So Standard, V Premium, and then Y Schwartz. So there's that. So I wish my buddies that are at the Houston location right now, because I'm pretty sure a lot of my buddies probably just made it to the hotel room. I wish you guys the best of luck tomorrow and Sunday. So, good luck. May fortune shine upon you. So, yeah. So, we were just talking about that yesterday night at Ninja Ramen, and it was really funny because afterwards, right, they asked me why I wasn't going, because if I didn't have anything, I would have gone to the Bushiroad Championship Series in Houston, Texas. I would have, because I really like Card Fight Vanguard. I'm a competitive fighter. Like, see, that's how much of like a Card Fight Vanguard player I am. I don't even say I don't even say I'm a card game player. I just say I'm a fighter because the anime says fighters. They deem, in the anime, right? In the Card Fight Vanguard anime, just the anime overall. I'm not talking about Overdress, Will Dress. I'm talking about not specific, just the entirety of the Card Fight Vanguard animes. They designate, well, what's the term? How do I say it? It's not designate. There's another term to say, like, they call people, I guess. They call people that play Card Fight Vanguard fighters. And then, like, in Will Dress, like, which I need to catch up on. Like, I'm in the middle of Card Fight Vanguard Will Dress Season 3. I need to finish it. It's already finished. I just need to finish it. But yeah, there's like the official fighters, and then they call the fighters that aren't in the global scene counter fighters. Like, they're really good fighters that aren't in like they're not in the media view. Like, the media doesn't cover these fighters, but they're really good. They're called counter fighters. So it's like fighters and counter fighters, and I'm like, okay. But yeah, I have a wedding to go to tomorrow. It's with two of my friends that I barely talked to. So funny how that happened, right? So I'll go back to the whole Ninja Ramen story in a bit. So funny how that. So earlier this year, actually, it's crazy. It's earlier this year. So much has happened to me within this year. It's crazy. So earlier this year, I was hanging out with my friends. It was for my friend's birthday, and then while there, I was talking to my friend, whose birthday was that day, and all the other friends that was his friends. I encountered his friends, and I got to know them. And they were like, "Oh man, you're such a cool guy. I mean, we barely talk, but would you like to come to our wedding?" And I was like, "Oh, sure, I guess." And then, like, I got their contact info, and then I get a text from them saying what my address was, and I was like, "All right, you know my friend, so I guess I trust you enough to send you my address." So I do. And in the mail, I got an invitation to their wedding, which is tomorrow. And so months pass. Mind you, this was early in the year. Like, I think it was like April this year that I got that invitation. It's like months before. And so finally, last week, I was like, hey, we barely talked. But hey, I know we barely talk. So I just wanted to see if it's still okay for me to go to the wedding. Okay, I just wanted to make sure because we barely talk. And the person was like, "Yeah, it's totally fine. Come join our wedding." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, thank you." So, so they did ask for people to RSVP beforehand. So essentially their RSVP was when you get the invitation, you message the person to say, "Hey, I'm coming." And so that's what I did. That's what I did when I got the invitation earlier this year. So, but because I haven't talked to them since my friend's birthday, or like a little bit after, like probably since April, because like the last time I talked to them was when I got the invitation, because I texted them and said, "Hey, I'm gonna go to your wedding." Like that, I RSVP'd. So that was the last time I had talked to them. So months passed, and then last week I contact them again saying, "Hey, how you doing? Is it okay if we go to the wedding?" And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I just caught up a little bit with them. Apparently they were really busy setting up the wedding and stuff. It's a backyard wedding, by the way. So it's not like a grandeur church with the wedding bells and stuff. It's just a backyard wedding for them to get, for them to be united as one. And it was really thoughtful. I'm like, "Okay, thank you." So that's happening tomorrow for me. So yeah, that's good stuff. So not only did I get the money that was owed to me today, I'm actually going to go to a wedding tomorrow. It's about an hour from where I live, so I guess. So it's nice. It's not like it's crazy to think that I was invited to something amazing as a wedding, but I was invited to a wedding of people that I barely know. That's the thing. Like, I barely know them, and they're like, "Oh, hey, you're pretty cool. Come to our wedding." I'm like, "Oh, okay." In fact, like, two weeks before, I think I said this on my previous streams as well, I attended a wedding too. So apparently I've been going to a lot of weddings within the past couple of years now that I think about it. I mean, I can count on my hands, but either way, weddings are like a once-in-a-lifetime thing. They're really important, and I've been going to a lot of them. So I'm like, "Oh, this is crazy. This is crazy. That's insane. Like, it's amazing." So, yeah, cool stuff. Yeah, so heading back to the Ninja Ramen story. So, yeah, I told them I was going to a wedding, and they're like, "Oh, whose wedding?" And I was like, "Oh, just a couple of friends, you know?" And then they asked me, "Do you know them?" I was like, I barely know them. And they're like, "Why are you going to a wedding for people that you barely know?" And I'm like, I just thought, why not? And then they made the passive joke, "You might find someone there." And I'm like, "You guys suck." I guess it's the thought that counts. "You guys suck." So, yeah, that's what happened. That was the Ninja Ramen story. So, yeah, there's that. And then Burnout. Yeah, I wanted to talk about Burnout. So, today was, it was action-packed today. It was pretty action-packed today. So, I had an interview today at 2 p.m. For a job. And so, yeah, it's cool. So, I went there, had the interview. It was really good. And then afterwards, I get a call from previous interviews I had done prior to the interview I had today. And I was told, yeah, you got the job. I'm like, oh, cool. All right. So I got money. I was offered a job. And it's like, oh, this is cool. Cool stuff. So yeah. And then got a wedding tomorrow. Yeah, a lot of stuff happened. So, but around this time, around like 6 p.m. today, I just kind of just lost it. And by lost it, I mean like the motivation and creativity kind of just like died a bit. And all that was left was the feeling to just literally rest. Just not do anything, shut my mind off, watch HoloLive clips or HoloLive streams for that matter. In fact, before I streamed now, before the stream, I actually just watched what was it? Fuwawa and Mokoko and Koseki Biju play Home Sweet Home, like on that stream. I just watched the VOD, and I remember just sitting there just brain dead, just like watching the VOD because I felt like watching the VOD. I was like, I just don't want to do anything. I just want to watch funny clips. Like, I'm being recommended anime, and I'm like, okay, I'll watch it, and then I just get home, and I'm just like, man, I don't want to. Like, I'm not even, like, playing my mobile games as much. Like, I'm tuning into them once a week, if even. Like, Memoria Freeze and Princess Connect Redive, which is insane. Like, I think what, and now that I think about it, it's probably because of I'm doing so much. Like, I'm streaming, I'm doing a lot of other stuff, to the point where it's like, uh-oh, I may not know it, but I think my body and mind are just, like, kind of want to just not do anything. Like, there are moments where everyone has, including me, where I just don't want to do anything. I just don't. I really don't. And it's not bad. It's just a sign that you just need a rest to not do anything. Just go brain dead and just like, okay, just like watch something relaxing or do something that you can just shut your mind off to that helps you recuperate or like recover, you know? Because I do a lot of stuff. I have a lot of stuff planned. Like I build Cardfight Vanguard decks, I build Y Schwartz decks, I organize my cards, I even get cards that I don't need anymore and I donate them to a card shop. I do that. I go twice a week to my local card shop because I participate in card game tourneys. I go to go and do Dance for Stardom on weekends for like cardio and stuff like that. Go to church on Sundays, of course, because I'm a Catholic Pinoy. And yeah, I just do a lot of stuff. Like, actually, another healthy thing that I have started to do, since my parents are in Portugal right now, or like they're out of the country right now. I'm watching the house for them. One of the things that I've done that I think is a plus is I've started cooking for myself. Like, it's really basic stuff. Like, I'm cooking home cooked sausages. I'm making scrambled eggs. Like, I've cooked for the past couple of days, and it feels nice, honestly. Like, it felt amazing to cook food. Like, man, because I'm so used to just waking up and I'm like, I gotta get to work. So I wake up, I have cereal or I have something pre-made, and I just go. But there's something different about making your own breakfast that hits different. Like, I remember I cooked myself scrambled egg, right? Tasted phenomenal. I forgot that I make some bomb scrambled eggs. Like, I make good scrambled eggs. Like, that is something I could say I'm confident in. Like, funny story with that is that as a child, one of the first things I learned to make as a child was scrambled egg. Because when I was a kid, my dad would make amazing scrambled egg. And then it got to the point that my dad was like, okay, son, I need to teach you. Usually either my mom or my dad. Either way, my parents taught me. Like, we need to teach you so that way you can cook. So I learned how to make scrambled egg. So basically what I do is I get a bowl, I get eggs, like 2 or 3, I guess. Like, for me, I realized I'm a bigger guy now, so I need 3 eggs. But as a kid, it would be 2 eggs, crack 2 eggs into the bowl, throw the eggshells away, put some salt in, some pepper in, mix it up, and then while you're mixing it, make sure you have the pan on the stove, put it on a bit of a low heat, put some olive oil in there, when you're done mixing it, when it's all mixed together, you pour it in there, and then you start messing around with it until it solidifies and is cooked. This process usually takes about like 15 minutes. So, yeah. Yeah, I started doing, because I remember, like, that is ingrained in me, how to make scrambled eggs. Fried eggs and boiled eggs, man, that's a whole other thing. I don't know why. I think it's because I really liked the scrambled eggs my parents made, that I'm just like, okay, I like it, so I need to learn how to do it. And ever since then, that is like one of the only dishes I know how to make, just confidently. So, I made some scrambled eggs for myself the past couple of days, and man, do I make some gosh dang good scrambled eggs. Like, fluffy, delicious. It's like, so my scrambled eggs are literally the definition of scrambled eggs. It's like, once I pour it in the pan, I don't like let it cook like an omelet. When things start to solidify, I start moving it, because that's how you scramble it, basically. And so my scrambled eggs look scrambled, and it has a golden brownish top and bottom, and it just tastes like, so it has the right amount of crispiness and a right amount of fluffiness, right? So it's not so crispy, but it's like a little crispy. Like, it's like 1% crispy. So like, you bite into it, you feel the crunch, but you barely remember it because of the delicious flavor you get from the non-crunchy parts, I guess. So yeah, I've been making that. I've been cooking home, like just cooking sausages to, like, some breakfast stuff. I mean, I do occasionally go out to eat, like a Whataburger, Taco Bell, and stuff like that. But I'm glad that I have enough time in the mornings now to just like cook stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. So I get to cook stuff, and I in fact, like, to celebrate the amount of good fortune that has come my way today, I decided to cook again. Because like this morning, so yesterday I bought some sausages from Kroger, and it's a different brand than the brand that my parents get. And I just got another brand, and it was like, and it's not like Jimmy Dean's pre-made sausages that you can just throw in the microwave. No, these are like raw meat that you have to cook on a pan. So I got some because I enjoy cooking. Like, it's nice cooking. It's nice to cook some, like, easy things. Like, basically, to me, easy cooking is turn on pan, slap food on pan. If it heats up, yes, that's what I mean. So I got some sausages yesterday. I opened it this morning, actually, and I put in, like, 6 sausages, because apparently I can eat. Like, I'm chubby. Like, I'm a bit extra. Like, oh my gosh, I'm chubby. I love to eat. I am a foodie. So I cooked sausages, and it was nice. It was really nice. I cooked sausages this morning. And then after all this stuff that happened to me in the afternoon today, I decided to treat myself to Spam. So if you guys don't know, Spam, like, it's meat in the can, that's Spam. Like, I love that. That stuff slaps. You know how to cook it. It tastes amazing. My parents make bomb Spam dishes. Just saying. We have made Spam scrambled egg, which, in my opinion, it is good once every blue moon. There have been instances where my parents have made it multiple times, and I'm like, this is too much. I just want this once. But my favorite thing as a child that my parents would make with Spam would be corned beef rice. So basically, they would take the meat out of the Spam can and just mash it up, and then they'd put rice in it, and then they'd cook it in a pan. Or however you do it, you can cook the meat first and then pour the rice in, and then you just like mix it up. So there's rice within the corned beef. And so, in the Spam. And so they would serve it, and I would eat it as is. It was so good. Like, oh my god, it's so good. Oh! Anyway, so when I was a kid, I called it corned beef because that's what my parents called it. Mind you, my parents, they are not from this country. They immigrated over here. So I'm the first generation of this line of the family tree to be born in this country. The US of A. So yeah, it was pretty awesome. So I actually treated myself to Spam today. I actually cooked Spam today. I was like, oh, all right, I'll cook it. So I cooked it, and I treated myself to a very lavish dinner. And by lavish, it was literally slice the Spam up into thin pieces, put it in pan once it's finished, take it out of pan and put a bunch of rice, and then that's my meal. I really just missed eating Spam, so I did it. Granted, like, I could use some more cooking Spam, because I think I may have overcooked it a bit. Like, it got a little bit burned. Because my dad, he knows how to cook Spam. Like, he knows how to make it to where it's not too burned on top. It's not too burned on the bottom. It's just right. My dad knows how to do that. And I have a ways to... I remember when I was, like, finished cooking, I was like, man, I got a ways to go to being a decent type of cook. Just saying. Like, by decent being knowing when to just take the meat off the pan for Spam. Because Spam is different from, country sausages. So, yeah. So, yeah, there's that. And then, yeah, the burnout. Like, I'm not even watching anime that much anymore. Like, I only stick to some... I don't even watch One Piece right now. One Piece is my favorite anime. And then, like, because I grew up watching One Piece. And it's to the point now that I just watch other shows than One Piece now. And it's just, times are changing. I guess my tastes are changing. But, like, the only animes I actually try and keep up with was the inexperienced... Me and the Experience, whatever that show is, I don't remember. And then Spy Family Season 2. And then I tried to watch, like, I was thinking of watching Uma Musume Pretty Derby Season 3, because I'm already watching it, right? I'm on, like, the 3rd episode. I'm watching it and, like, stopped it, and, like, I remember today, I was like, oh, maybe I should finish episode 3, and then my body, I kid you not, my body was like, Godfrey, don't. And I'm like, oh, sheesh. I really am having an anime burnout. Because a lot of my friends have been recommending anime. Like, my friend that's taking over the planning for the trip for Japan, they were like, you should watch this anime. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll watch it. And then now I'm sitting here right now, and I'm like, I don't feel like it. I feel like, because I like objectifying, whoa, I need to watch what I say. I don't mean, let's rephrase that. I like gamifying things. There we go. I learned that way. So, here's why. Because there's something called myanimelist.net. And it is a place where you can find anime. You can't watch it, but you can find anime recommendations. I have an account, and I like being able to watch anime and keep track of what episode I'm on that anime, if I take a break from it or just, come back from it. And so what I liked about it was like, oh, it's like an achievement thing. You just start a little task, you finish it, and you get an achievement. That's what I thought. So that's what I mean by gamifying. And I learned how to say that because of what ProZD said during a Trash Taste stream, or Trash Taste episode that I listened to on Spotify when I was driving home from work one time. And it was just like, ProZD was like, I like gamifying stuff. It makes it fun. And I'm like, and honestly, I'm kind of like that too. So, yeah. So, take out the objectifying. I didn't even say, because when I said that, I was like, oh, that's not good. I shouldn't say that. So, yeah. So, yeah, anime burnout. I'm just like, there are shows I want to watch. I want to watch Freehan. I want to watch the 100 Girlfriends that really, really, really love you. I want to see those shows. I want to see Girlfriend Season 2 because it's just trash harem anime. And harem is one of my favorite genres in anime. I love that stuff. Like, I know there's harem horrors, but it's not horror. It's funny because you got a harem. It's like, no matter which way you put it, a harem's just naturally funny in my eyes. Like, I've watched many a harem anime during my college and university years, and it's just like, man, I'm a degenerate. I know I am, but yeah, I'm on an anime burnout. It makes me sad. I want to watch more anime. I want to read more manga, finish series, because there is series I've watched as an anime, and they have no seasons, but they're finished manga-wise, so I want to finish that, but I guess it's just so daunting. Like, there's so much to do for me now. It's just like, man, I feel like I just need to step back and just chill, And I know a lot of people have said that. Like, I know people like Garnt, Joey, and Connor have said that on Trash Taste. Markiplier has said that. Like, there are points in time where everyone just needs to decompress. And I feel like I'm just hitting that, because I'm not gonna lie, like, I wanted to stream today, but my body was like, nah, Godfrey, I just want to continue watching Fuwawa and Mokoko just being like adorable little doggos. Like, I just kind of want to shut my mind off and watch someone stream, or just watch some VODs or watch some Hololive clips. Like, I've been on a meme watching streak recently. Like, I would watch. If you know about Milky Ways, the virtual tuber, I love her. Oh, she is so precious. She is the definition of ara ara mommy energy, and I love her. She is so amazing. I'm actually thinking whether or not to subscribe to her. Just be a sub. Like, I'm pretty bad with just watching streams. Like, I can't sit down and watch a stream. I can't. Like, so I cannot sit down and watch a stream live. I can't. I simply cannot. If I am to watch a live stream live, hence the name live stream, I have to sit down and be doing something else. I cannot just sit down and stare at a live stream. There have been rare instances where that's happened, but I just can't. But what's funny is when the stream's over, there's the VOD. I can sit down and watch the VOD. So now I'm thinking right now that the reason why I can't watch a live stream is because there's no end. And because there's no end, I might be just wasting my time because I don't know how long it's going to be, and I need to allocate my time wisely. That's probably me and how my mind works subconsciously. But when there's a stream going live, I just can't watch it. Like with Savvy Panda's streams, like I tune in, right? I just lurk. Like, here's how I approach streams that are live. I join the stream. YouTube or Twitch, doesn't matter. I join the stream, I go on the stream chat, and I say, yo, have an awesome stream. Enjoy. And I lurk. I leave the stream on. I just lurk. I sit there doing other things. I mean, there was a point in time where I would just, like, respond to, interact in stream chat. Because, like, Savvy streams earlier this year, there wasn't as many people, like, interacting in stream chat as, let's say, Milky Ways, Iron Mouse, Amelia Watson, Mume, like, not to the point where it's, like, spamming stream chat messages. No, Savvy is right now, Savvy is a streamer of good reputation, and, she's building up her base, like, building up her fan base and stuff, so there isn't that much interaction in stream chat as of, like, now. Like, I'm comparing it to, like, big time streamers. So I would occasionally, since, like, there isn't that many people talking in stream chat, I would just be like, okay, hey, have fun, oh, dang, you got wrecked, and stuff like that. I would interact in stream chat. Because, in my eyes, small-time streamers... Apologies, Savvy. Savvy is a growing streamer, okay? You know what I mean? So, small-time streamers, there's not that much interaction in stream chat, which means that the streamer can actually take the time to look at stream chat and respond to messages verbally on stream. And Savvy is one of those streamers at this moment. I have no doubt, honestly, that Savvy will grow up to be a better streamer and become a very famous streamer. Like, if you guys didn't know, I even praised her performance. I praised her achievements, too, because she became a guest on a bigger streamer on Twitch. She was a guest, and I'm like, man, I wish I could be a guest. Dang. So, Savvy has gone, like I said before, like when I was praising Savvy, Savvy has gone a long way from starting out from, like, in 2020, around the same time I started. She built up a lot of fans over that time, and she became a Twitch affiliate, has a subscribe button on her Twitch channel. So, I'm proud of her, and I wish her the best moving forward. Now, back to the stream interaction. Try to justify why I say small-time streamer. It's just, like, with small-time streamers, you have more time to just, it feels like a personal connection versus, like, Iron Mouse and Milky Ways. You know how many people interact in that stream chat? It's, like, a lot. A lot. Like, there's so many people just, like, vying for attention. Just being like, yo, what's up? Like, I mean, of course, a lot of them just understand how it is, but it's like, there's a disconnect, right? Because there are so many people, but there's only one of the streamer. And there's only so much that streamer can do, and which is understandable. They're not evil, they're just doing what they can with their powers that they have, which are limited. So, Ugh. Yeah. Sorry, I just zoned out because I was like, how did I get this to this topic? Let me backtrack. So, yeah, streaming. I didn't, I didn't, I didn't feel like streaming today. I really, like, there was a part of me that was like, Godford, I don't want to stream today. And like 60% of me was like, I want to stream. So there was 40% of me that was like, I don't want to stream. I'm probably not going to stream tomorrow either, because I got a wedding to go to that is like about an hour away from where I live, so I'm going to be out for the day. I'll probably most likely stream on Sunday this week, though, because I just like streaming. I enjoy streaming. Even though not many people watch my streams, I still enjoy streaming. And exporting the VODs to YouTube. It's just fun. I just find it like fun. It does take energy out of me though, because there are points in time where like I gotta fill the void with something to say, try to be funny, but you know, sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. And it's just like, okay, looks like I could do better here, you know. How to be a better streamer. However, I got degrees that I want to use, so when I start my new job, I will most likely not be streaming as much, to be honest. Like, I will not be able to stream as much because most of my day will be dedicated to the job I will be working at. That's the thing. I will still stream when I can. It's just, I can't always stream. That's just how it is. I mean, I'm learning and having the motivation to do it though, because like literally, there came a point when I was like, okay, so I would work, come home, and then start streaming. Like it gets to that point, but sometimes I just don't want to, and that's just how it is. Like I tried to make a streaming schedule, but I actually did. At first it was like this, and this, and then it was like once every week, and then it just didn't happen. It was just like, stuff happens, you know, stuff out of your control, and you're just like, man, you're juggling so much stuff. But hey, that's how it is. So, yeah. I've been talking for like 50 minutes. So, hopefully the stream's decent for you guys. I will be learning some Japanese today on Rosetta Stone. So let's go ahead and pull that up. We got some stuff. So today, we got Lesson 2, Everyday Items. Pronunciation, vocabulary, grammar, and review. So that's what we have for today's Japanese lessons. And then after this, we'll just hop on, play some Genshin, finish an Archon story, and then just be on my way. I'm probably going to do